Hey Leo, thank you for letting me do your weekend love reading. This will be a reading for the weekend of September 25th through the 27th. If you had tuned into last weekend's reading, please know that this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and pull 6 cards with one deck, and then we will talk about them, and then we will pull 4 more cards to clarify or reinforce what was said, and then we'll pull some oracle cards, okay? I'm trying to, at the moment, experiment with a couple different styles of layouts and such, really so that I can provide you with the best reading possible, so that you can both see the cards as well as allowing it to be dynamic, so that it's not just all the cards out and you just see me talking and you see my hands fluttering, but there's some movement in this reading, okay? I might change it further. I'm kind of liking how this is going. I might try to change the positioning of the camera, something a little bit more copacetic. Also, as I move along with editing, it might be a little easier. Also, one last thing before I go into this reading, I first want to say thank you so much for bearing with me, for listening to all my whatnots, my ramblings, as well as my long pauses. I do get nervous with doing these readings. You know, I'm just starting this channel out, so the more that I do, the easier it's going to be, and the less times you're going to hear my insecurity on that go through. So hopefully I can edit as much as that out and provide you with the best reading that I have here. Okay, so moving on to your wonderful reading, Leo, for the weekend, we're going to go ahead and talk about people, right? It's always good to start with who you see and who they are, to kind of give you an idea. So astrologically, as far as what we have here, we have the death here, so we have Scorpio. We also have Aquarius, and that's it. Okay, so these cards are a little bit different. They're not the standard tarot deck, but they have the somewhat standard names of them. So we have the Two of Stencils, which is the Two of Pentacles. We have Judgment. We have Death. We have the Star. We have 6 of Buckets, which is the 6 of Cups. And then we have the Brother of Spray Cans, which is the Knight of Swords. Okay, these I tend to read more about what the card looks like than actually, the meaning. But I'll go back and forth between the symbolisms and such. So to start off with here, again, we have these 2 individuals, listed here, a Scorpio and Aquarius. They could or could not be part of it. But we have this Brother of Spray Cans. So we have somebody coming in, rushing in quickly to tell you some sort of truth, right? That's what that King of Swords is about, or Knight of Swords, Knight of Swords coming in to tell you some clarity. On this card, it's representing somebody of authority, right? Somebody that is seen in a high position. They do have a star on their chest, so that could be linking here to the star card. So someone could be coming in to tell you something about an Aquarius, or about your wish fulfillment. There could be some sort of connection there. But the thing is, on this card, is that they are committing, crime here. If they are like a police officer or law enforcement, whatever, they are sitting here spray painting. So even though that they might seem like the traditional person that's coming in with this information, also know that they do have that streak in them, that disobedient type of streak to them, so they're not all just following the laws and the rules, so keep that in mind. So don't cast any judgments if that's not the type of person you're normally with, but they're coming in to tell you, okay, tell you something with clarity, tell you about the facts, tell you something quickly that will go ahead and change something. And that might be coming in to tell you about, with this Judgment card, it might be somebody coming back from your past. What I'm getting at, though, is someone's coming back to tell them that they're sorry. It says you lied on it. It's a rat. To tell them that they were the rat and that they lied. And it says you lied, or you lie. So it could have been that this person might have had a different viewpoint of the situation, of the story, and felt that they were the victim, if you want to say victim in this. But it seems like that their perception has kind of shifted, had changed. We also have this Death card. So with the death, it is about the changing. So somebody's coming in to let you know that they've changed, or that this situation is going to change your perception of them. With the Six of Buckets, that's that Six of Cups. So it's definitely reinforcing that somebody from the past is coming back. Um, Again, though, it could be that it's bringing up those childhood nostalgia, that innocence within you, and it could really transform how you're seeing this situation. Okay, with the Two of Pentacles, usually it's about balance and such, and to me, this is about balancing what is 2 dimension with what's 3 dimension. So balancing what's interior in your subconscious with your consciousness in the 5D versus the 3D, or even just the 2D with the 3D, like mentioned before. But here, it's about, to me, when I read this card and when I see this card, it always reminds me of like the art, and then art history in the 30s, how it had the pipe. And the pipe said, this is not a pipe, but it's a picture of a pipe. So therefore, it is a pipe, but it's not a physical pipe. So it gets you to kind of question the realities of it, right? So this is a person, but it's not a person because there's no person present here, right? It's just the outer and exterior picture, but it's not, because it's a flat image onto the side of a wall, right? So really, to me, again, it's about that perception. It's about seeing from a different point of view, right? Changing your perception on something, or maybe they change their perception on something, right? It's just about airing out, your wet clothes, airing out the skeletons in the proverbial closet, right? So maybe it's a matter of taking the time to unpack the situation with this person. Really sit down and talk with them as much as you can, and really look in within yourself about this and about the situation. I'm not saying that this is going to be a loving, positive relationship coming in. We won't know until we can get some clarifiers, but there is some sort of wish fulfillment. So with this is that maybe you're hoping that this person will come back. They'll come back and apologize to you. They'll come back with some clarity about the situation and what changed within the situation. Okay, that's really kind of where I'm feeling with this. It is something that you've been wishing for. Maybe this person is coming back, and it becomes your wish fulfillment because they've changed. A couple of different situations that I'm feeling here. Okay, let me go ahead and pick some cards for some clarifiers, and then we'll see what else we can find. Okay, can you clarify weekend for Leo? Okay, weekend for Leo. Okay. Awesome. So I must say that every time I get judgment or justice, I always think of like the court system, and where you are tried for what you've done, and then the judge will tell you the judgment, right? And that there should be judgment within the situation, right? For justice here, though, you could also be dealing with a Libra. You have Capricorn for the devil, so they could also be playing part into the situation, okay? I'm really seeing in this justice, which is the first time I'm seeing this, I'm actually seeing two faces within justice. So you have the standard face, but then you have the faces, the eyes here, and then the nose that creates here, and then a mouth. So it could be somebody that, and I'm not a professional by all means of this, but maybe the person deals with like bipolarism. Maybe it represents that transformation of energies from one person to another, that death card here. I do feel that I feel like that this relationship was based on codependency with this devil card. I really feel that maybe that's where this is like, it felt like you were in the same situation. You guys are stuck together, and you weren't your individual person in the relationship. There looks like that there might have been some fighting going on here. For me, the Five of Wands, depending on the cards around, usually represent an interior fight. So, fighting with yourself about your emotions. If you're juggling here between those two elements that I was talking about, this can really be a problem with you fighting with yourself, fighting with the other person to recognize, the deeper layers of yourself. If they were lying to you and they're coming back, there might be some kind of quarrels to kind of, get things going and moving in the right direction or the wrong direction. Maybe you're fighting with yourself about, this person coming back and whether you should take them back or whether you want them in your life. Make sure whatever you do that your vibration is up high. When your vibration is up high and you're resonating in love and joy and happiness and gratitude, that's what will bring them, those energies to you. And you can feel when things aren't connected. When somebody's at that lower vibration, you can feel that when you're in that upper vibration, and I need to step away from this person. You can still be friends with them, but you don't need to be in a relationship with them on a constant basis. Like, you can be friends with them, but limit your conversations with them. Does that make sense? Because you don't really want to pull yourself down. You definitely want to help to elevate your levels and the other people around you, their vibrational levels up, and not alleviate it. I do not know why I'm having problems with my communication with this. So maybe it has to do with something that is not being said or hasn't been said yet, or someone's having some difficulty saying it, and that's where this justice comes in. Being able to clearly say what needs to be said. With the sword right in the middle, the truth is coming out about that imbalancement. Also here, I haven't touched base yet, is this Eight of Pentacles. This Eight of Pentacles is kind of twofold. So to me, Eight of Pentacles is always about working on something. It's about either self-work, working on a relationship, putting in that time to do the hard work. But in here, the way that she is sitting in this picture, she's sitting on her knees, right? And there's 5 pentacles that she's sitting on. She's holding a 6th pentacle, and I don't know where the other ones are. But there's imbalance between that 5 and that 1 instead of having the balance that you need. But it really resonates to me for some reason with the 4 pentacles, where they're holding on tight to something. So maybe it's holding on tight to this imbalancement of these pentacles, right? And that you really need to work on making sure that the balance is correct. That you're open to receive, but also open to give. If you're usually a receiver and people constantly give you things, you need to be open to give to them instead of always being receptive to give. Okay, let's go ahead then and pull some of an oracle card for each of my decks here. And let's see if we can get some more information or some advice here. I want to try to pull these quickly because I hear my daughter is starting up her guitar, and when she starts playing, it's going to be harder for you to hear me. Okay, so we have a hungry ghost. It says obsession, scarcity consciousness, and attachment. So this definitely could be talking about that past and the obsessiveness of this devil, right? Being in that attachment, being in that codependency, hungry ghost. I'm mostly thinking about the goblins within yourself. So if you're familiar with Colette Mariana Reed, she has a wonderful video about releasing your goblins and facing your goblins. Might be something good to check out. I know it's on YouTube. It's a quick meditation, but it's very powerful as well. Let's go ahead and pull one more. We also have rock bottom. So realize that this relationship might be at rock bottom right now. It is the 10, so it is the end of the cycle. So it's ready to be renewed, ready to start again, right? You also have 2 different paths here. So that could be with that juggling, or you have 2 different options. You could either continue on it, or you can continue on a different path, right? It's also about your perception. It's about how you see, which way that you're going to go, right? So being rock bottom or feeling like you're in rock bottom is your perception, okay? Your perspective that this can't get better. You have to do the work on yourself and within the relationship for it to get better if you want to continue on it. And even if you decide not to continue on it or not work on it, you still need to work on yourself after this relationship is gone. If you really have been in a codependency relationship, that someone cheated and lied and there's constant fighting, you really need to do some work on it so that you're not bringing that energy back to you for another karmic cycle. All right. Well, Leo, thank you so much for letting me do this wonderful reading for you for this weekend. I hope it does provide you with some sort of clarity. Thank you for letting me ramble on, and I wish you a great weekend. See you guys later.